Well, hi there, Farnell here from Farnell Best Business. And this is an exciting time because I want to share with you this information on sales and influence for people who've been to university. Now, so what the hell, Lee? Who are you to be talking to me about sales and influence and persuasion? And why is it for people who've been to university? Well, let me give you a bit of background. I spent 4 years at Melbourne University studying what we called human performance, Bachelor of Human Performance. I went to school in Eagle Hawk and I wanted to be a phys ed teacher, and because I wanted the world to be fit and healthy. And then I went to Melbourne Uni, 4 years at Melbourne Uni, physics, chemistry, exercise physiology, biomechanics, what the hell? And then I thought, well, I've done a degree and there's no real job there, so I'll do a master's degree. And at the University of Western Australia, the lecturers there had said to me, Lee, get your degree, get your master's degree, and you hang out a shingle and the world will be the path to your door. Yeah, hang out that shingle and the world will be the path to your door. What you can do is you put a white lab coat on and you put a stethoscope around your neck, and people just are fascinated with that and they want to do business with you. Now, of course, I'm making part of that up, but there's so much subtext, no matter whether you've done engineering or law or physiotherapy or commerce. In fact, I've had people who said, I've done a Bachelor of Business and not 1 minute did we actually talk about how do you have a conversation with someone that generates revenue. It's the most neglected black hole in education that you can ever imagine. How do you actually have a conversation with someone that's professional, that is value-based, that actually helps you generate business? Yet what we know is the people that move up the career ladder are, in fact, the people that know how to generate business. They call them rainmakers. So I'm going to share some slides and we're going to work through the next half hour or so with you. Now, if you've got questions, touch base. This could be just a short introductory thing for you, but I'm going to share some slides with you and we'll work through them. And I want you to be making some notes, and I want you to be going, well, how well do I actually know about science, the science of influence and persuasion? I like the idea of being like a champion, because what we do is we model high performers. We model champions because we say the quickest way to improve is to model the thinking and the behaviors of those who are already successful. As the saying goes, sow the same seeds, reap the same rewards. So this is an introduction for you to be storming up the career and business and income ladder. It's an area that's so neglected in universities. I'm passionate about sharing what I wish someone had told me. And in fact, there's a range of people I'm mentoring and coaching in this area. So let me work through this. Let me work through this with you. First question is this: why would you bother? Why would you bother with sales, influence, and persuasion? Well, the fact is, it's actually the factor that determines. It's actually the factor that determines your success. Whether you can sell, influence, and persuade. Not just in terms of selling product, but selling ideas, getting people engaged in teams, getting people engaged in a project that actually is going to be successful. So it's critical. In fact, there's a whole lot of data that supports it, and I'll show you it. But what you need to do is understand this whole concept of Professor Charles Handy in terms of sigmoid curve. Where are you on the sigmoid curve? He says all businesses, all people, all sporting teams are somewhere on that curve, the blue line. You're either on the way up, you're plateauing, or you're on the way down. And the name of the game is to start looking for areas you can improve while you're still on the way up, rather than wait to be on the way down. There's a thing called lag time between point X and point Y, from the time you come up with an idea to when the idea is actually commercialized or actually being of benefit to you. So the name of the game is, even if you're on the way up now, that's the time to actually say, what's the next thing? And sales, influence, and persuasion and negotiation are critical areas that are going to make a massive difference to your career and a massive difference to your ability to move up the career ladder. I like this. Which step have you reached today? I won't do it. I can't do it. I want to do it. How do I do it? I'll try to do it. I can do it. I will do it. Yes, I did it. Where are you in regard to say, I used to be at the, I won't do it. I won't do it. I don't need to do it. I mean, it was almost after I lost my first house. I went, man, I need to do it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get better at this because I'm going to run my own business, or I'm going to be successful in career. I need to know how to sell, influence, and persuade. Boy, I was in denial for a long time. Now, there's this thing here. It's called the what I know circle. A lot of people focus and identify with what they know. I had a person the other week. I'm a sports scientist. I've done a PhD in sports science. Yeah, but what is it you know about sales, influence, and persuasion? It's all very well to have the PhD. I think Robert Kiyosaki talks about PhDs being poor, hopeless, and desperate because they start to get so micro in what they know, be it sports science or be it biochemistry or be it even law, that they're so narrow. And in fact, someone said to me just the other day that industry are not that interested in PhDs because they're so narrow and so non-commercial. They don't want PhDs as consultants. I don't know if that's true or not, but this person who has a master's degree in business and has been in consulting for about 20 or 30 years said industry are very wary of PhDs because there's a whole lot they know, but there's a whole lot they don't know. And they go, oh, I know there's a bit I don't know about sales, but I don't need to know about sales or influence. Well, that's not true. How do you actually transfer that knowledge and convert it into value so that clients want to pay you for it? And so until you are willing to identify with, you know what, there's a whole lot I don't even know that I don't even know. Even Einstein said, the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. The humility to realize you are not the genius in all key areas, and particularly when we're talking about things like sales, influence, persuasion, negotiation, leadership, all the soft skills that as artificial intelligence takes over more and more and more, you need to have the creative skills, the soft skills, the human skills, the sales, influence, persuasion skills, the ability to take data and convert it into insight. To be willing to, I realize, yeah, okay, I've got the PhD, I've got the master's degree, but there's a whole lot I don't even know that I don't even know. And that's what I want to focus on with you today and let you know that there's a way bigger pool of what you don't know than what you actually think you know. Boy, identifying only with what you know is very dangerous, Mr. University, Mr. PhD, Miss PhD. What we're talking about here is you finding and developing a sales mindset. And I don't just mean selling of products or services. I mean also selling of engagement, getting people involved in teams, getting people involved in projects, startup ideas to help you deal with other human beings in such a way that they want to be involved with you. That's going to be a secret to your scaling success. So the sales mindset, where do you get this sales mindset? Well, some people, of course, are immersed in a sales mindset with their own family. If your parents have been involved in business or even involved in sales, as it's worked out, Warren Buffett's father was a salesperson, had a whole library. That was the beginning of Warren Buffett's own self-education. Of course, if you don't know who Warren Buffett is, he's one of the wealthiest people on the planet, runs Berkshire Hathaway. And by the way, reads for 6 hours a day, loves reading. But how also as consultants and people selling business to business can you build a sales mindset and sales capabilities? Well, the first step is wanting to do it. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to do that, turn this off now. Don't be involved in this program. Don't reach out and touch base with me. But this is what I have wanted to do because I realized I was such a sales snob coming out of a master's degree, and the world will be the path to your door routine, which of course we call that BS. Besides being a belief system, it's complete and utter bullshit. And that's one of the problems in university is your head gets so full of bullshit and self-importance that you think you're, and I'm saying you, I mean me as well. I had to go, no, take a breath. You need to develop a mindset that actually, one, knows how to ask questions and identify opportunities, and then two, Take the buyer on a buying journey to where they buy for themselves. You see, right now you're sitting there. Most people are looking for reasons not to buy from you than reasons to buy from you. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like the color of his head. I don't like his glasses. I don't like his skivvy. I don't like the light shining on his bald head. I don't like the shape of his nose. That's a good reason. You know what that is? That's your ego and comfort zone looking for reasons to stay stuck in the status quo. Your ego doesn't want to change in most cases. Your ego, no, you're perfect the way you are. You don't need to learn anymore. You've been to university. We've literally had this. We've had people say, I don't need to learn anymore. I've got my degree. Whoa. When did you get the degree? And how applicable is it to the job you're doing now? By the way, this is something you've heard of the Peter Principle. Lawrence Peter studied. It started with school teachers, where a person was a good school teacher, then they became head of department, then they became a deputy principal, then they became a principal. And at some point, they reached what he called their incompetence level. He said, people are promoted to reach their level of incompetence. Good, struggle. Now you've got a struggling person in a management or principal position. How'd they get there? Well, they were good at 3 jobs below, and then through interview and mateship and ability to bullshit in the interview. Sometimes, as we say, the best performance a person does is in the interview to get the job, and now they're outside their capability area. I'm not saying that's you, but then again, be aware of it. So there's 2 things. You either rise to your level of incompetence or you increase your competence. I recommend you increase your competence if you have an open mind and you're willing to explore that. So how do consultants and people selling business to business build a sales mindset and capabilities? Well, first of all, you open your mind up that I want to do that. And secondly, you do just what you're doing now, which is you invest in a program to help you go on a journey, to help you get better and better at it. You know what? What we know is this. We've got over 60,000 thoughts a day. Some people say it's 6,000, could be 60,000. Either way, it's thousands of thoughts a day. But how many of those thoughts are helping you sell more? How many of those thoughts are helping you be more influential and negotiate? It's so important to take your brain and then give it a system so that you train your brain to think the thoughts that help you sell more. And one thought is, I engage in productive conversations. Another is I actually meet people who have problems that I can solve. Whether you're a lawyer, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a physiotherapist, whether you're a management consultant, who are the people you need to be talking to? Who are the people that have those problems? If I'm talking to the wrong people, then I better find out from those people who are the right people. Again, we have a system to help you do that. We call the R factor and color zone system. I'm going to introduce you to that, or at least part of it today. But look at this. Harvard Business Review says more universities need to teach sales. How about that? Their own universities, Harvard University, saying more universities need to teach sales. Inc. magazine says, without this skill, you won't succeed. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. This is the one skill, sales, influence, persuasion. All successful people know how to do well. Not only sell products and services, but sell ideas, get people to invest, get people involved in your projects. It's like a muscle. You've got to develop. It's not like, you wake up with it and you take a tablet. No, I'm sorry to say, it's a bit like a golf swing. It's a bit like kicking a ball in soccer. It's a bit like throwing accurately in water polo. There's a whole range of components to the skill you've got to get better at. And how do you do it? You get coaching from someone who has already deconstructed the system. Now, in my case, I was so bad at it. Besides being a sales snob, I was so bad at it. Oh boy. Well, it's 1,000 things you do wrong, which is you give the answer straight away. You give the person the answer. If you don't take them on a journey, if you give the answer at the wrong stage of the journey, a whole lot of things can happen. We did this at one of the accounting firms where one of the tax accountants who'd had a master's degree in finance and tax said, I got these people in and we looked at their problem. I mapped it all out on the whiteboard of what they needed to do. And at the end of it, they said, thanks for that. I think we can do that ourselves. He didn't get the business. and didn't get the revenue. So what went wrong? I thought they'd be hypnotized and mesmerized with my knowledge. No, you didn't take them on a buying journey. That's completely different. Now, there is a strong relationship between educating the client and being of value and getting the sale, but it's all got to be done in the right order at the right time. See, there's great salespeople like Steve Jobs. Of course, he's passed away, God rest his soul. And we're not saying what a great personality he was, but he was certainly great at marketing and selling. We can learn from these people. Look at this, Warren Buffett. In graduate school, you learn all this complicated stuff. But what's really essential is being able to get others to follow your ideas. Read that again. What is really essential is being able to get others to follow your ideas. That's sales, influence, persuasion, and negotiation. So it's not just about sales of product and services. It literally is about influencing others. This is a set of skills. So you've got to say, how do I do that? Here it is. He says, if you're a salesperson, you want people to follow your advice. If you're a management leader, you want them to follow you in business. Whatever you do, good communication skills, sales, influence, persuasion, negotiation, are incredibly important and something that almost anybody can improve upon, both in writing and speaking. And that's what I'm talking about here today, some of the science of you getting better at sales, influence, persuasion, negotiation. This is one of the wealthiest people on the planet saying this is the skill you must get better at. And it goes on. It's the only degree he has on his wall is the Dale Carnegie degree, that Dale Carnegie certificate. There he is. That's the only certificate he's got on his wall, he said, of I got better at sales, influence, persuasion, negotiation, presentation skills. There it is. In effective speaking, leadership training, and the art of winning friends and influencing people. That's what we're talking about. Effective speaking, leadership training, art of winning friends and influencing people. So let's run through some of that science. And I think there's three big skills. 1, sales. 2, influence. 3, persuasion. And the bonus one, negotiation. Let's see what we can do today to help you with those. Which ones of those do you want to get better at? Which ones of those are you repulsed by? Oh, I don't want to get better at any of those, Lee. Certainly that would have been me 20 or 30 years ago. I don't need that, mate. Maybe persuasion, maybe influence. Why do I need to negotiate? Man, these are skills we all need. So let's just run through a few of them. First of all, persuasion system thinking. Persuasion system thinking. You need a rainmaker mindset and you need sales systems. A rainmaker mindset and sales systems. A rainmaker mindset says, I'm in the business of literally making it rain money, making it rain customers, making it rain happy customers, making it rain happy customers who are hungry for our product and services. Be it, again, accountant, physiotherapist, lawyer. I got to get out and make it rain. How do I do that? Well, there's a range of tools that we have. Also, we need sales systems. What are our sales systems in terms of the step-by-step process, deconstructed of what do I do, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, one of the clients up in China, Michael Lamb, said, Lee, what you've done is you've deconstructed the sales system so that step-by-step we can now teach our people and coach our people in how to do those steps. And then when they're not doing so well, we can deconstruct and we can work out where they're not doing so well. Because there's what are you doing? And then there's what aren't you doing in terms of the sales system and the rainmaker mindset. If we look at the science of persuasion, well, you need to look no further than a fellow by the name of Professor Robert Cialdini, University of Arizona. It's just so many great things, but it's one thing reading the book. There's the other putting it into practice. So the other point also is what you need to do is understand strategic questioning, the process of strategically asking questions that take the buyer on a decision-making buying journey. And that's what we do in our color zone system. We call it the POMVIC journey, problem, opportunity, measures and metrics and motivation, value, investment and commitment and consistency. There's a range of things that go on in that Pomvik journey that we would love to expose you to. We call it buyer facilitation. What you're doing is you are facilitating the buyer to come up with the decision themselves using what Cialdini calls the levers of influence. The levers of influence and persuasion. Again, we'd love to teach you that science of how you do that, but you do it in a strategic way so that the buyer, well, what you're really doing is you're co-creating the buying decision with the buyer facilitation. There's also the component of what we call pre-positioning. Pre-positioning. What are you doing? What is your company doing? What is your business doing before you even meet the client? What do they know about you? How do they feel about you? What's been their experience of you before they even meet you? That makes all the difference. And again, it's online. What we know nowadays is up to 70% of the buying decision is made before they even reach out to you. They like you, trust you, feel comfortable with you, know you've got authority. All of that happens with multiple touch points before they even meet you these days. As one of my mentors said, what you do before the sale is 10 times more important than what you do in the sale. So you need to become an expert in pre-positioning and marketing and branding before you even meet the client. As I said, what you do before the sale is 10 times more important than what you do in the sale. Let's look at this thing called the law of value. You see, we get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace, and that takes time, takes multiple touch points, but we get paid for the value. What value are you delivering? You know, like a heart surgeon, how much would you pay for a new heart? How much would you pay when your heart's beating so fast that you think you're having a heart attack, and then that person diagnoses and gives you a tablet and it immediately slows your heart back down? How much would you pay for that? It's like the old saying of big multi-million dollar factory, the production line not working, and it's costing them, you know, $100,000 a day because they can't get product out. Could be my clients at Wesbeam with timber. It could be a mining operation. Either way, just imagine a big production plant. It's stopped because something's not working. Call the guy in. He walks up and down the production line, up and down, gets a hammer out and taps one part of the machine, and it all starts again. They say, okay, give us an invoice. Gives them an invoice. That's $500. They say, what the hell? $500? You just walked up and down the production line and tapped, and it started. I mean, that was nothing. It was just a tap. We need to break it down. What's it called? Itemize the invoice. It's gone, okay. Tap $1. Knowing where to tap, $499. The value is knowing where and how. It's not about time. It's about what did I just do for you? And that's a mindset in itself, the exchange of value. You're not being paid for your time. You're being paid for the value. And then again, that's also in your marketing, your pre-positioning. You need to let the client know. But the more value you bring, the bigger the checks you receive at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year. The more value you bring. So you need to be both bringing value and educating the client to the value that you bring. You need to be good at articulating before and after. Before, after. Before, after, value. Before, after, metrics. What dials are you moving when you work with a client? Is it tax saving? Is it net worth? Is it retirement account money? Is it production? Is it share price? What is the value that you're bringing? What metrics are you moving? As I say, Lee, you move the dials when you work with us. That's Jim Rohn, the great Jim Rohn said that. The law of leverage value, and then the amount of value times the number of people you deliver it to is check size. So think about that. If you're talking about business or you're talking about moving up the career ladder, talking about income, how much value do you bring? And then how many people can you get it to? Therefore, if you say people like Amazon or Warren Buffett, bringing in in fact, literally just the other day, I was watching a video of a fellow who is literally, here's an example, two examples. One where they were teaching people how to set up digital agencies, and they're bringing in something like over $1 million a month. There was another one where the fellow was selling beard stiffening glue, goo on the internet. Again, value delivered. People with beards want their beard stiff, I gather. And it was $600,000 a day in sales. So clearly bringing value, people value their beard being stiff, but he can get to thousands of people a day. Incredible. So how do you do that? Well, we can help you do that. Our mission is to empower you with the skills, the systems, the knowledge, and the habits that are going to bring massive value to the marketplace so you create the lifestyle and the freedom you want that goes beyond your wildest dreams. That's what we're into. I'm so passionate about helping people discover what they don't know, they don't even know, that's going to make a massive difference to their career, their income, their business, and therefore the freedom and the life that you want to lead beyond your wildest dream. So here's a quick insight. And is it a problem or a question? First of all, you're not in the tax accounting business. I'm sorry, you're not an accountant, you run an accounting business. You're not a tax accountant, you run a tax accounting business, you run a tax accounting practice. You're not an architect, you run an architecture business. You've got to have a mindset. And you're not in the architecture business, you're in the sales and marketing of the architecture business. You're not in the tax accounting business, you're in the sales and marketing of the tax accounting business. Lee, you're not in the coaching business, you're in the sales and marketing of the coaching business. Lee, you're not in the sales coaching business, you're in the sales and marketing of the sales and marketing business. You're not in the physiotherapy business, you're in the sales and marketing of the physiotherapy business. Because if you're not doing the sales and marketing, you don't stay in the business very long. So you need to know the problems and opportunities that salespeople have with selling. First of all, we know data shows 55% of people who make their living from sales don't have the right skills. They haven't been trained, they haven't been exercised, they haven't been drilled, they haven't been audited, they haven't been supported. It's just crazy. So one, increase your sales influence persuasion competency. What we're trying to do is make square pegs fit into round holes. Well, why either change the hole or change the peg? And something has to change, but so many people are struggling when they don't need to be. Problem, like me, I had a bad attitude to selling, influence, persuasion, negotiation. You need to work on the attitude, be coached in the attitude. That's what I had to do. Then there's disempowering attitudes like, I can't do it, it's not possible, I'm not cut out for it, I don't want to be selling ice to Eskimos. It's all sorts of bias, conscious bias and unconscious bias, which undermines your success as, I'm an accountant, I don't need to sell. I'm a lawyer, I don't need to sell. Like, the work will speak for itself. I mean, the amount of bullshit you hear coming out of people's mouths that are disempowering, holding them back. Then there's, they don't listen, they talk too much. They don't listen, they talk too much. How's that you? Do you listen or do you talk? Do you know how to ask questions and then shut up and listen? Then there's other ones where they don't even know how to ask or what to ask. So we give them the questions to ask, the right questions to ask in the right order. And then people go, I don't really care. I don't really care. I just want to do my work. I don't really care about the customer. In fact, they don't even call them customers. They have all sorts of, derogatory names for them. They're just, numbers, or they're just accounts, or they're just paxes, or the PA, passenger on a plane. Then there are others that just want to sell. They don't actually want to find out what the customer wants. They just want to talk. They just want to sell. Crazy. And so if you want to go further, what we would recommend is you do a sales personality profile exercise that we have. We also recommend that you do a sales influence diagnostic, a diagnostic tool we have to take a look at where are you at right now and where do you want to be. Then we recommend you get involved with us on a one-to-one Zoom coaching, where for the next 90 days, we work with you to actually take you on a journey to improve week by week. We'll also get you involved in recommended, prescribed sales influence persuasion micro projects. So based on where you're at, we will prescribe projects that will move the dial for you. Some people need to exercise the bicep muscle of sales, whereas others need to exercise the shoulders or the abdominals. Not everyone is the same, and you're different than others. So sales profile, personality profile, influence diagnostic, one-to-one coaching with us for 90 days, the personalized projects. Then we also immerse you in 3 video modules per week. New knowledge, new information, new tools, new systems to actually help you improve your sales. So what I don't know. We actually start to open that up so you know more and more and more, and not only know it, but then apply it with the weekly prescribed sales influence micro projects. What we'll be also giving you are sales influence neural pathway exercises. Pathway exercises to help you develop your mindset, your attitude, your thinking, and the neural pathways that really will open up and grow to help you fly up that career business success path. We'll also give you a career future blueprint based on where you're at. We'll map out a career future blueprint for you, or if you're a business person blueprint. All this is a total value of over $7,500. Today it's $2,500. So he's going to save over $5,000 if you're interested, or we'll break it down into payments. You want to find out more, touch base with us. We know it will make a difference. And by the way, we give you a money back guarantee of satisfaction, a proof of action. You prove you've done what we have asked you to do and it hasn't worked, or you're not satisfied, we'll give you your money back. So you've got nothing to lose. Don't live in fear and desperation. Don't go, what if? Get involved with us. Touch base. And thanks for being part of this. As I say, we can get you moving up that ladder of income, career, business success. Thanks for watching. Join us. See you soon.